Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Hello everybody, welcome along to AOR Apex Online Racing. We're here for round 2 of 21, the second race of season 5 for Oceania, here at the Bahrain International Circuit for the first of 3 night races of this calendar. And I think we can all agree after that last week was the perfect season opener, as it included a close qualifying, fast times and many amazing battles. So with an open track like this track in Bahrain, hopefully it will include more overtaking and action. For example, Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton battling it out for the whole race back in 2014, or Charles Leclerc, who nearly got his first F1 win but suffered mechanical problems preventing that. Let's have a look at the track then. Sakhir is 5.4 kilometers long with 15 turns, 6 to the left with 9 to the right through the Bahrain desert with 3 DRS zones, one on the start-finish straight, one after the tricky double left-handers of turns 9 and 10, where locking up your front tyres are so easy to do around here. And a new DRS zone once again after turn 3 going up the hill towards turn 4 to the start of sector 2. 3 component tyres available as always, the softs, the mediums and the hards, where strategy is most likely from the mediums to the hards, as softs don't last very long, but we'll get into that later on. My name's AOR Charlie and I'll be bringing you the live coverage for the Bahrain Grand Prix for Oceania Tier 1, sponsored by Hype Energy on the Xbox One platform. Jess Games 95 is behind the scenes doing the camera work, and joining me in the commentary box once again is vFendz. Welcome back, vFendz.
Yeah, hello everyone. It was a great race last time out, as Charlie said, and Bahrain in Oceania is always known as a great race, so hopefully it is again today.
Yeah, last season we saw vFendz take a pole position here with a 26.0. I'm not sure if we're actually going to be seeing times like that today, because I think the cars might be a bit slower around here, but we'll see. The race results was Big Chunkus, who took first, Alan Hugo in second, and vFendz, who got third. But before we go into qualifying, let's have a quick reminder of what happened last week at Melbourne with the top 10 standings. So New Zealand Ryan came out on top ahead of NAMS, where those two just absolutely stormed ahead of everyone. I think at the end it was like 20 seconds ahead. NAMS was ahead of Chicane, who finished third. So those two are going to be quite interesting to watch later on. That laggy person finished 4th for a good start to his season, and Pom to the win took home 10 points for his first race in AOR in quite a while. Master Berserk finished 6th, and Islam Matt finished 7th. Always AFK, the season 4 tier 2 champion, finished 8th for her first tier 1 race, with her teammate RBR in 9th, and Bazooka finishing in 10th for Red Bull. Looking at the constructors, Ferrari hold the lead with 37 points ahead of Racing Point with 25. Red Bull finishing 2nd and 10th last time out, holding 3rd, with McLaren in 4th on 8 points. 1 point behind is Toro Rosso, with Alfa Romeo also 1 point behind Toro Rosso. And with no points to their names at the moment, we got Williams, Mercedes, Haas and Renault. So with all that out of the way, let's get down to the track for qualifying. We've got 13 minutes and 20 seconds left, and we just saw RBR take provisional pole for now with a 28.9, but not really anyone has set a competitive lap time just yet. But strategy is going to be quite interesting, friends. You got anything for us about that?
Yes, so qualifying, I've got some sources have informed me that the pole time would probably be around a low 27, maybe a high 26. But that would be quite, I think that'd be a bit of a stretch for today. The strategy, there are two different types of quick strategy. You can do the middle compound to the hard, pitting around about lap 10 to 13. Or you can do from the softs to the hards, pitting around about lap 8. The crossover between the tyres is about lap 3 to lap 4. But I think a lot of these drivers will, especially the title contenders such as Ryan and Nams, will probably want to be opting for the medium tyre today. This track is also, I should note, it is it's quite good for the pad, so I think Ryan will definitely benefit a lot from today, and especially of course he has performed here well in previous seasons.
Yeah, so we've already seen our first driver retire. Kaiwas is somehow retired. I'm not sure where. His yellow flag is set to 2, so he's probably binned it somewhere. Do you see that, Fence?
He binned it out of... Yeah, it was the corner. So after turn 5 and 6, there's that really long right-hander. I think he got on the power too much earlier, yeah.
It was on the stream, okay,
so...
so... Yeah, he has not set one single time, so he's going to be starting last unless someone gets a grid penalty and doesn't set a lap time either. We've got New Zealand Ryan currently on provisional pole with a 28.4 on the hard compound tyres. So he's setting a banker, it looks like, on those white hards. There's a few drivers on the softs as well. We've got Conrad Straight, is there Matt and Poms opting for the softer tyre, which it's a bit questionable. I'm not going to lie, I don't think the softs last that long, but do you think it's just a banker fence or...
Judging by the lap times from Is That Man Pumps to the Win, I would say yes. Conrad Straight, I'm not too sure. He might be trying something different today just to see how he goes. I think he got points last time out, so I think he'll want to be trying and repeating that effort today. Looking down the rest of the grid though, we've still got a couple people that have not set a time, such as Roscoe, Deathborough and Chicane, but yeah, Ryan leading it out from the hard tyre. Way ahead of the rest of the field as well right now.
Yeah, I'm currently on board with Nams right now as he comes to the penultimate corner of turn... Actually, no, that's not the penultimate corner. This is the penultimate corner here of turn 14. Now, this is the final corner right here. I just think that's just one corner, to be honest. But anyway, Nams, and it is Nams, by the way. It's not K-Nams or anything like you guys said last time. I kind of got screwed over with that a little bit. But Nams goes P7 with a 30.4. He's just behind a few soft running cars as well. Master Berserk up into 4th with a 27.9. And Always AFK currently 9th position with a 30.5. Personally, I don't really like this track, to be honest. It feels really different. I'm not sure if you've tried this, Feds, but it feels like the track's a lot smaller. And the traction just doesn't really feel there. The grip isn't as grippy as it was last game. Have you tried this track yet?
I haven't done that much running, I'll be honest with you here. I just remember last game that a lot of drivers, I think, will probably get stuck out a bit, but I think it's the turn 9 and 10 area where you can easily just lock up and make a mistake and run too wide there. Sometimes maybe even hitting the wall, but just looking now at Nam, sorry, I'm going to have to get used to going back to the right way of saying it. He's been doing a lot of laps on these hard tyres, so that tells me that he's maybe saving his ERS a bit on these laps, so we're not seeing his full potential. Ryan has actually gone and set a 27.8 though on the hard tyre as well, so I think judging from his lap times, he went from the 28, then he did a lap 1 minute 34, so I think that lap was just saving a lot of ERS, and then he went for another push lap and did the 27 while Nams is just doing race pace laps, I think. Charlie.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's not really going into the pit lane at the moment as he comes across the line again. He does improve in time, but not in position, a 30.4 once again. I think he's done like 3 or 4 consistent laps here, just doing the hard compound tyre. So maybe he just wants to get used to the track, maybe, and then go into the mediums later on in the qualifying session. We've got VSR Roscoe, he's currently in the pit lane right now for his first race this season. He couldn't make it last season because of a few technical problems on his side. Last week, sorry, and yeah, I'm sorry, it's quite early for me as well. But 8 minutes 30 left in qualifying. We've got 3 drivers in the pit lane at the moment, but New Zealand Ryan 1.1 seconds ahead of RBR. That is a big gap. And a 27.8, I can barely do that on the softs, let alone the hards. But I mean, he's going into the pit lane right now, so I think he's going to take a little bit of a rest, and then he'll go into the mediums, do you reckon, Fence?
That's what I think he'll do. He'll probably want to do 2 runs though, because especially with the amount of laps that he has done on those tyres, I really wouldn't want to risk starting on them, especially because they've got a lot of wear on them. So I think if I was him, I'd play it safe and do 2 runs in qualifying at the end, just to make sure that he gets that lap in, as I think that lap will definitely be in the top 10 that is already set today.
Yeah, I was going to say that multiple laps on these hards, I don't think it's a major problem, to be honest, because I think these hards last for quite a long time. Same with the mediums, as there goes Poms to the win to the final corner. I think he's just put the power on way too early there, and I'm not sure. I think he was about to start a lap time as well on those hard compound tires. So into the pit lane he goes. You saw something, Vance?
I don't think he when he spun, I don't know if the stream caught this or not, but he almost actually made contact with Nams. So that was actually really close, because Nams was like almost right behind him, and he spun, and so Nams had to take a bit of avoiding action. He still set a 30.2 though, so he's improving on those hard tires. He's just got to make sure that he actually gets a lap in on the mediums or the soft tire though, because I wouldn't want to be starting on like 6 lap old hards.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what he does, but we got Always AFK. I don't know if Jess called that again. We're seeing a lot of stuff right now. Always AFK losing the back end everywhere through turn 8 that was. And she's still losing it looks like. Actually, I think she's actually put it in low AOR, so maybe she's just warming up those tyres or something. But 6 minutes 30 left in qualifying. Coming straight, still in 5th with a 28.9. He's still on the soft compound tyres though. So is he actually thinking about starting on those softs? I did a Grand Prix mode before this race just to have a feel of what the strategy is like as well. Fresh tyres, you can do softs to hards. I think it is doable as he just goes off into the gravel. But I think it's gonna be a push if he wants to go from softs to hards. Those softs can die in like 4 laps, I think. But I mean, it's up to him at the moment. Is that Matt thinking of the same thing? He's also on the soft compound tires as well. His best is on the softs, and he's still on the softs. So I don't know. Are people trying to do something a little bit different here, Fens? We got Poms and Roscoe are all on the softs as well.
If I was a driver that maybe wasn't exactly fighting on the podiums as well, I would probably take the risk and maybe try and start on the soft tire, maybe see what happens. You know, maybe there could be a lot of drama behind that they, for example, miss out on because they are at the front, which could lead then to a podium or something, and a result higher than what they would usually achieve. So I think, especially if you're maybe back end of the points usually, I think it's definitely worth a risk. But Roscoe has just set a 28.7 on the soft tire as well. He is notorious in the community for starting on the soft tire, so I think these will be his starting tires, and it'll be very interesting to see how he does on them as well.
Yeah, he loves going for those kind of strategies there. So he set a pretty good lap time there, 28.7, still 9/10 behind Ryan on the hards, but he's going to be one to look out for at the start. He's going to try and maybe take the lead at some point, but then he's going to really fall behind if he's going to make those softs last to the hards. To the hard stint, which is, what lap did you say? Fens was lap 10 or 11 or something?
Yeah, for the softs to hards, I was told that you will probably want to be pitting around about lap 8. So,
okay. Because
of course they're a lot harder to manage. So, because at the crossover period, there will be a period of time which he will be quicker, but then those softs will just, die out. And yeah, so hopefully if he does start on this strategy, I don't think with that time he'll start in the front rows. I think a lot of people will be improving because most of those laps are on the hard tyres. But if he does start on the front row, he'll be wanting to definitely get that jump for the lead and hold on for dear life.
Yeah, so we got actually a lot of people putting on the mediums now. So I'm just switching it from best to fitted all the time, and I can see that from 3rd to 5th, they're all got on mediums, and their best time is on the hards. It's the same with 7th, 8th, and 9th. They've gone onto the mediums as well, but surprisingly, Nam's down in 9th. But we did see him set quite a few race pace times, I reckon, because you can see he's actually been on those tyres for 5 laps. And that is actually a really long time, considering these are going to be your starting tyres if you want to start on these. So medium compound tyres with Nams. Actually, he does put on mediums now. So he needs to set a pretty good lap time. I think he's going to be under pressure as well, because he might actually only have 1 lap to set this time. And if he messes up that one lap, then that could be gone, because he's going to be starting on the hard compound tyres, on 5-lap-old hard compound tyres as well, Fens. Fens? Is he blowing his nose? I think he's blowing his nose.
I had my mic muted. Oops.
Fens.
I had my mic muted.
Go on.
Okay. So what I was saying is that Pomps to the Win and Master Berserk are probably the only people that are going to manage to do 2 laps on these compounds. So if Pomps to the Win, always AFK, and that laggy person, if 2 of them can pass Narms though, and he does not get that lap in, he'll start 11th, which actually isn't necessarily a bad thing, as he gets those fresh tyres. But that laggy person, he had the softs fitted for a while, but I think he's now opted for the medium tyre. The only person with the soft tyre fitted is Conrad Strait, and I think he'll be looking to start on them. But yeah, on death row going out. I think a lot of these drivers now are going to be starting their final laps for this qualifying session. Charlie?
Yeah, so 2 minutes left in qualifying. What do you think the pole time is going to be, guys? Put it in the chats below. I've seen quite a few people actually get really close to pole prediction times in the past. His Conrad Strait's retired from the session. I don't think he wants to bother going onto the mediums. That's going to be his fastest lap, or he's... was that in the pit lane? I think it was in the pit lane, so I think he just doesn't want to improve on that. We got Roscoe going out on the mediums. He set his fastest lap on the softs. That's going to be a big push if he wants to try and make set a faster lap on the mediums. But if he does that, Fens, that's going to be a clutch and a half from Roscoe.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. And as well, just a reminder, Ryan said a 27.8 on the hard tyre. My prediction for pole, and this was given to me by a fairly quick driver, he said the low 27s, high 26s. So, and I'm assuming the difference between the hard and the softs would be more than a second. So if Ryan can pull out another great lap on the softs, I think we're going to see a really good lap time that maybe even like would challenge for pole and maybe a European split.
Yeah, so 1 minute left in qualifying. This is where everyone is out on track. Not a single person in the pit lane. So we're going to start seeing the fastest laps drop now. Let's go on board with Narms for this lap, because he's currently in 9th and he does only have 1 lap to do this. So here he comes to the penultimate corner. Gets the best run through the final corner now, and we're going to see an onboard lap with him as he opens up the DRS. And flying across the line to start the lap around Bahrain, so shifting up through the gears into 8, reaching up to nearly 215 miles an hour before going into turn 1, braking just before the 100-meter marker, going into turn 2 and into turn 3, leaves the back in a little bit there, but he's just about caught. So opens up the DRS into the new DRS straight, 20 seconds left in qualifying, going all the way to the left, use all the curb on the outside to get a really good line to the inside line before ending sector 1 into the S section now of turns 5, 6 and 7. Really tricky to get right, especially on the right hand curb just there. That can really launch your car if you don't get that right. Into second gear into turn 8. He's got pause to the win as he spun it, and into the wall he goes, and he is out of qualified, and the barrier looks like it's gone as well. He's launching up into the air, and there he goes. I'm not sure if it's the same with Jess, but there goes the barrier. But it's probably not the same. But Narms out to qualified, and that is what I was really worried about. He's only had 1 lap to do it, and he couldn't set that lap time. So he's going to settle for 10th. He could even drop there. But the checker flag has dropped it. Pomps to the win up in P2. I just noticed that with a 28.4 on death row. Now it takes provisional pole with a 27.8. It's Melbourne all over again. As Roscoe crosses the line, he can't improve on his lap time, so he's going to be starting on those soft compound tyres. We got Master Berserk coming through, sector 3 as well. Is that Matt up into 3rd with a 28.3? Who else have we got coming to the line? I think that's Chicane in the Racing Point coming through the final corner, opening up the DRS and flying towards the line. Can he put his car anywhere near the front? He can. It's P3, and that's where he finished last time out in Melbourne. What about Always AFK as she comes to the final corner? Master Berserk goes up to P3 with a 27.9, but RBR now takes provisional pole, and New Zealand Ryan as he comes to the final corner, opening up the DRS as well. Can he take pole position? No, he can't. He's weaving. Okay, no, he can. Okay, just weaving across the line in style. Yeah. Well, Ryan takes pole. I don't. Okay, RBR takes second.
That was interesting.
Death Row takes the. I don't know what. Is he just showing off at this point now? VFendz.
Yeah, I think Gnarls is actually quite lucky. I think that leggy person improved on this time, which dropped him to 11, so he won't have to start on those hard tyres, which is going to be very beneficial for his races. He could maybe start on fresh hards, or maybe even the medium tyre. But the qualifying results for today, New Zealand Ryan is on pole with a 27.2, RBR second, only 2.8. 2.8 tenths behind. I'm Desborough in third, Berserk fourth, that leggy person fifth, Chicane sixth, is that Matt seventh, Pomsel win eighth, and then Roscoe and Conrad straight ninth and 10th on those soft compound tyres, and Nams always AFK, and Ikai was rounding out your grid today. Charlie.
Well, I mean, I just don't know what to say after. I just don't know what to say after. I've never seen anyone weave across the line and just take pole position up. Anyway, we got a quick video from Hype Energy, our sponsor. Welcome to the grid for round 2 here at Bahrain. New Zealand Ryan on pole position, and we're just waiting for all the drivers to ready up. But quick reminder on the strategy fence for all the viewers that have just joined us. Mediums to hard, you reckon?
Yes, I mean, a lot of the drivers have big mediums. Mediums to softs, I don't think that's really doable. So the smartest option would definitely be the hards. Of course, the pit lane is quite long at Bahrain, so doing the two-stop strategy maybe isn't viable. The race was actually won on a two-stop strategy last season, but that was because of a safety car near the end of the race where a lot of drivers opted for the supers or the soft tyre. Just going on the formation lap now, I'm just going to see what tyres the others have gone on. So Nams has gone on the fresh hard tyres, but with always AFK, and Ayakawas have gone on the medium. So it'll be very interesting to see how Nams does at the start. I think his tyres will take a bit longer to warm up than all the others. And of course, Roscoe and Conrad 9th and 10th on those softs. They'll probably get a great start off the grid as well, and hopefully make up a few places.
Yeah, and then they'll have to go as long as they can before going on to the hards. Nams, though, we have talked about this a little bit here, Fen. Starting out of the top 10 isn't the worst situation, because you're starting on fresh tyres, fresh whatever tyres you want to go to. He's going on the hard, so he's going to last a little bit longer, and he's gone to a fresh medium, so he could still be in a shout here.
Yeah, I definitely think as well, especially at the end, he'll be on the softer tyres than everyone else, and we have seen this strategy work. I think that leggy person did it last time out, I may be wrong. He started last and he finished, I think, 5th or 4th in that race. That race was actually quite chaotic though, but I think he did a fantastic job considering the circumstances, and Nams will be hoping he can do the same. I mean, it's early on in the season, but he will be wanting to get as much points as possible, and just hope that... I think today will be a bit of damage limitation for him though. I think Ryan seems quite quick at this track. Here's my prediction for the win today. Who do you think is going to win today, Charlie?
I mean, after seeing Ryan just weave across the line, you can't really just... I'm going to go for Ryan, to be honest, but...
You don't really lose time of weaving.
I mean, we got 29...
Yeah.
We got 29 laps, so I mean, anything can happen, you know. So we'll just see about that. But 13 drivers on the grid today. We got 10 drivers on the medium compound tyres. We got 2 on the softs, and we got 1 on the hard. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of a mixed strategy as well. But everyone lining up to their grid slots. New Zealand Ryan on pole position. RBR in second for his first front row grid, I think, for him in the Toro Rosso. But here we go, Icaros lines up to the grid in 13 spots. And here we go for Oceania, round 2. The drivers are looking to the 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go with New Zealand Ryan on pole position, and it's a good start from him once again. RBR in second, and I'm Deathblow and Master Berserk going side by side, heading towards turn 1. Ryan and RBR going side by side into turn 1, actually. RBR's going to try and dive it down his inside. Master Berserk as well, trying to get involved with I'm Deathblow, but I'm Deathblow takes third position, a little bit of ghosting there. And I think Master Berserk has somehow taken third. Chicane is trying to get involved as well. Down the inside into turn 4 goes the Racing Point. And they're going 3 wide, it looks like, going into turns 5 and 6. And I think that's it's a yellow flag, so no overtaking there. Roscoe Arms gone off in the background. Narms is in P11 and he's going slowly as well. And I think that I honestly didn't see what happened there, but Roscoe Arms round on the soft, so that's not a good start from him. Always AFK in 8th position as well, but Ryan has to just pull that gap now. 4/10 between himself and the Toro Rosso of RBR. Narms down in 11th. I'm not sure if he had a bad start or anything there, but is that fun when damage on his left? I can't really see. Do you see anything, Fence?
At the start there was from like 3rd onwards, from like Master Berserk onwards, there was this huge amount of carnage, and yeah, Narms is slowing down. It's been overtaken by Poms for the win. He definitely has damage of some kind, but damage, he was there was like, they were going like 4 wide, I think, or something crazy like that, and yeah, Narms, Poms and Roscoe were just the 3 people that got unlucky from a small incident where I think, I didn't see specifically who, but I think one driver ran into another driver's path, and that basically just led to
yeah, really. Yeah. But anyway, lap 2 out of 29 is one way to put it, Fens. But Narms into the pillar and he's 2nd in the championship, so this really isn't the start that he wanted. And he's on the hard compound tires. He was expecting to go all the way to basically the end of the Grand Prix. Always AFK and Conrad Straight going at it here for position 7. Always AFK is on the medium compound tires. Conrad Straight on the softs, and it looks like Conrad Straight just let her go past there. So Conrad Straight think that the Toro Rosso is a little bit faster at this point. So fair enough. That's a good move from him, just thinking about his race ahead. As Ryan is nearly 1 second ahead of RBR already, nearly out of that crucial DRS range here. But we've got a quite good battle for position 3. It looks like it's about to hot up. We've got Master Berserker, Deathbrush, Chicane, and that laggy person as well. Looks to be getting close there as that laggy person nearly hits the back end of Chicane going to turn 10. So he's looking a little bit racy at the start of this race, Fence.
Yeah, there's a huge change now from 3rd place up until 9th. RBR and Ryan are just pulling away from Master Berserk by a huge amount, but this is going to be a great battle, especially with DRS being enabled. DRS is quite overpowered on this game, and there's a lot of places that you can use it, especially with the new edition. And I think it's after turn 4. I think I don't know my turn names, but turn numbers, but yeah. Conrad Straight as well, letting Always AFK through earlier in the lap. He's usually known as one of those drivers, you know, that is very respectful, and he knows when he's usually one of those drivers that benefits off all the carnage because he's not involved in the carnage, because he's usually smart and just stays out of it a lot of the time, which is a good strategy by him. Pumps to the Wind seems to be making a move on Ikawas for P10, just at the back of the grid there, but I think they're in a bit of a train now. Is that Matt making a move on Conrad Straight as well? But yeah, I think it's just a bit of a train right now. Hopefully we get to see some action in a couple laps, especially with the DRS of course being enabled. Charlie?
Yep, we got Is That Matt and Conrad Straight still going at it here on the 2nd DRS straight, and Is That Matt actually made a pretty good move going into turn 1. He's up into position 8 and Conrad Straight on those softs, the only driver on a different set of tyres. So he's going to be the next driver to pit. I was going to say the first, but he's actually going to be the next driver to pit. Looking back at the battle for position 3, we still got Master Berserk up in 3rd with I'm Deathbro in 4th position. He's in that DRS range though, so we can make a few moves later on, and the battle goes all the way down into 7th now, and a few drivers could be catching up with all that DRS being activated at the back of their cars. Obviously the rear wing opens up, allows the cars to go quicker in a straight line. My science isn't the greatest, so that's just what happens apparently. But Chicane and I'm Deathbro and I'm Deathbro and Master Berserk quite close to each other here. 3/10 is the difference before coming into the penultimate corner, going into the final corner here. So he's going to have the DRS on this straight, as it looks like Berserk actually gets a better run compared to the Mercedes driver, as Deathbro opens up the DRS now. Master Berserk tries to break the slipstream, goes to the inside line, then goes to the middle of the track here. I'm Deathbro, he's catching quite quickly, as he's thinking about going on the outside, or is he just taking the racing line? Maybe he's trying to go a little bit of an under and over here, going into turn 2 and turn 3. He's got another chance with DRS. Master Berserk a little bit squirmy on the exit, as well as Master Berserk goes to the middle of the track once again, but I think I'm Deathbro will have to hold back a little bit. Now that laggy person also getting stuck in there with Chicane, and Always AFK lose the back end there at turns 5 and 6. but Always AFK is going to get stuck into this battle as well. Lap 4 out of 29, and this is going to be the battle that we're going to be seeing for probably the rest of the race, Fens.
Yes, just a couple things that I should note as well. Nams, I think that he actually, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I reckon he has an opportunity here to still finish in the top 5, as we saw in round 1. Him and Ryan pulled away like 30 seconds or 20 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. He is only about 28 seconds off the lead, and he took 3 seconds out of Aikawa's that lap. So I think that if he, especially because he's not going to be battling anyone because he's alone on track, I think he's actually in a genuine shot of having an okay recovery drive because of his pace advantage. And another thing just as well, RBR, earlier in the week he posted on his Instagram about what position he'd finished, and I think a lot of people were saying that he should try and win, but I think that he's probably going to be really happy with the result that he's getting today, Charlie.
I mean, it's very early on at the moment, lap 5, but he is doing very well though. 3 seconds behind Ryan as I'm Death Row Master Berserk. This is the move that we've been waiting for quite a few laps here. Master Berserk is not having any of that though. He takes that position straight back, and I think who's got the DRS? I can't even tell who's got the DRS. Chicane's got the DRS though somehow as they go into turn 4. I'm Death Row and Berserk didn't even have the DRS, and Laggy Person and Always AFK go for a little bit of a battle there into turn 4. Laggy Person still ahead of the Toro Rosso for now, but this battle is definitely started to hold up. But like you said, Fens, Nams is going to be really going for it here. He's trying to push as hard as he can. Safety car is probably what he really wants at this moment in time, but yeah. Roscoe Arm as well down in 13th. He's going to try and catch up to Nams as well. You can just about see him up the road as he goes into turn 4. But back out in front, Ryan 3.3 seconds ahead of RBR already. RBR is 4 seconds ahead of Master Berserk, but this battle's still for P3 as I'm Deathbow is still trying to keep up with Berserk here. Looking at the ERS, it looks like Berserk's actually got more ERS compared to I'm Deathbow. Chicane, Laggy Person, Always AFK, quite similar on that as well. So I think this could be a good opportunity here for Deathbow to make a move on Berserk. He has got a good run compared to the McLaren driver. He's a lot closer than he was before lap 6 out of 29 here. Opens up the DRS side by side. They go into turn 1. Brakes as late as he dares, and down the inside he goes. Is Master Berserk going to try and make the move he did last lap? He cut the corner a little bit there, but I think Deathbow is going to hold on to that for now. But Chicane is going to try and get involved after that battle. He tries to go by the outside of Master Berserk. Can he even do it on I'm Deathbow as he goes into turn 4? I don't think he can. They nearly go 3 wide once again. Chicane has been forced off the track, and he actually takes P3 from going off the track. And there goes Master Berserk. He's been tagged from, I think that was Deathbow, and he falls all the way down into 9th. He's even going to be 10th. So he's just tagged the back end. I think that was Deathbow anyway, and he's even going to get out of the points here as Ikaros goes down. He's trying to even force him off the track there. What was that? Master Berserk is off the track. I don't think there was any need for that. But he's down into 11th now, just making things worse for the McLaren drive. What happened there, Fens?
Wow, that incident is probably music to Nams' ears, but yeah. Deathrow and Master Berserk, they're both really quick drivers. They just struggle to sometimes finish the race and just get through a whole race without a few mistakes. So I was really worried this thing would happen. And when I saw Chicane, I think it was Chicane off the road on there, and they were going 3 wide through a corner which you can barely go 2 wide through. You kind of knew that something was going to happen. I was just hoping that maybe one of them would back out, but yeah, it's just really unfortunate for Master Berserk. He seems so fast this game, and yeah, there's a battle for P5 going on as well. Always AFK trying to finally make the move on that Leggy person. She's going down the inside here into turn 1. Braking really late here. They're going to stay side by side. I think she's going to wait and try and get the run maybe through the next corner. Yes, she's going to also get DRS as well. Yeah, this is getting really close here. Let's see if she tries to go down the inside. Maybe not. She's going to be really safe and just stay behind that Leggy person for now. So playing the long game here, I think. Doesn't want to get involved in an incident like Master Berserk did.
Yeah, so Berserk falling down into 11th there. So again, I don't think he got any damage from that. I'm not too sure. If he did, it shouldn't be that much. But I don't think Jess caught them. I don't know what happened there between Berserk and Ikaros. It looked like Ikaros just turned into Berserk. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah.
I don't think Jess caught that, so I don't think we should talk about that for now anyway. But I'm Deathbro is now going to be trying to chase down Chicane. So Chicane, talking about Chicane as well, vFendz, he went off the track and somehow got both positions, and looks like he got away with it.
Yeah, I don't know if the stewards may have something to say about that. I don't know if he'll go to the stewards or not. I don't really have an opinion on the incident, of course, but yeah, Chicane at P3 right now though. He finished P3 out last time round, so getting another P3 if he can stay in this position. I don't want to commentators curse him, but it would be very good for his championship, and definitely I think P3, maybe P2 would be a good aim for him. Oh yes.
What a move from Deathbro. He's just got to the outside and the inside of Chicane, doing a little bit of a switcheroo there from the Mercedes, and he actually makes the move on the racing point. And now look at the Ferrari of that laggy person. He's going to try and get involved as well, but Deathbro hasn't had the best run there. VSL Moscow, our first penalty of the race. Chicane tries to go around the outside into turn 4, but I don't think he'll make it that one. So Chicane down into position 4. I'm Deathbro. What a move up into P3 onto the podium, it looks like. Lap 8 out of 29. And we should be seeing people pit. What lap was there again, vFendz?
The medium tyres, they're probably going to pit around lap 10 13. As we saw last time out, the undercut was severely overpowered for New Zealand Ryan, getting the position over Narms by a few seconds as well. And Conrad Stray is the first to pit. He's gone onto the medium tyre, it looks like, so he's going to probably go onto that two-stop strategy. I think he may have to hope for a safety car, though, or a bit more carnage for points today, because there's a bit far off the field right now. Narms, of course, is also catching up to the drivers as well. Just looking at ERS as well, Ryan is on 4%. He seems to be pushing very, very hard in this opening stage, and Chicane actually picks up a penalty as well. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. While RBR is only on 62%, so he's just saving it, being really cautious, and Ryan sets the fastest lap. Of course, you get a point for fastest lap now this AOR season. Yeah, but looking at the ERS here, Chicane is 84%, while Deathbro only has 28. So, yeah, a lot of the drivers behind Deathbro, yeah. Battle for P5 now between that leggy person, always AFK. Chicane also might try and make a move on Deathbro, but I think he's too far back. That leggy person squirming all over the place, trying to keep always AFK behind. But I think he's ran a bit wide there, and always AFK is going to try and make a move here, but I don't think she's going to be able to do it here. But she has the run through this corner. She goes to the inside here. Maybe she'll finally make the move. And there she goes, down the inside. Let's see if she makes a stick. They're going to stay side by side into this corner. Having the inside here is quite beneficial, and she gets the move done. Great move there from Always OK. She's now into 5th place after starting outside the top 10. Great job from her so far. And yeah, that was a great battle that they've had for the past few laps, Charlie.
Yeah, fantastic move from Always AFK. You saw Laggy Person made a slight mistake there. Oh my god, is that man nearly rammed the back end of that Laggy Person just to make things worse, but luckily he just reacted good enough for that. But I was going to say, Always AFK being quite smart as well going into the last corner. It was, she had a run on Laggy Person, could have easily made the move, but she wanted to wait for that DRS going on to the start finish straight to make sure it was an easy move, to make sure that she wouldn't get overtaken back onto that DRS straight. So good move from her. And she's up into 5th, going to try and chase down Chicane ahead of him, who has got a time penalty. So that's going to be something to bear in mind as well. Lap 10 out of 29. Chicane is going to try and chase down on Deathbro as well. He's going to have the DRS there. Always AFK has the DRS as well as... Oh, okay, that was a little bit of a play from those guys. I'm Deathbro baiting to go into the pit. Same with Always AFK. And Laggy Person goes into the pit lane. So lap 10, and he's going to put on the white striped hard compound tyres. So that was that an early stop, vFendz, or was that kind of what we were expecting?
I think that's kind of what we were expecting. Maybe a bit earlier, so he may struggle at the end. But if he may actually get a benefit out of this, especially with the undercut, the only thing he's got to consider is a lot of the drivers, such as Always AFK and Chicane, are actually in DRS. And you've got to just try and basically, the drivers are going to debate now whether staying in the DRS of the cars in front, or maybe pitting onto the hards, maybe trying to see if you're like a severe amount quicker. It's going to be a hard debate for the drivers as to which strategy they decide to go on, but Laggy Person first to pounce, going to try and make up some of those moves that maybe on Always AFK, maybe even try and jump Chicane and Deathbro possibly. We'll have to see how that goes today. But yeah, Ryan just pulling out a 7-second gap to RBR. I don't want to jinx Ryan. I'm doing a lot of jinxing today, but I think that, yeah, 8 seconds, hopefully Yeah, I think he's probably got the win sorted. But
Yeah.
RBR's also got an 8-second gap on I'm Death Bro. So he's doing a great job so far, and yeah, there's just that huge train. Pomps to the Wind will probably try and get involved after that early incident. He seems to be catching up. Is that Maz also got involved in the past few laps as well? So let's see who's going to pounce into the pit lane this lap. Looks like Death Bro's going into the pits. Oh, he fakes it as well, but Chicane decides to, as so does Always AFK. That was actually. Yeah, it was an interesting dummy. I don't. Are the drivers allowed to do that in the? I
think they are.
I'm assuming they don't get a penalty. Yeah, because I know in real life you can't do that. So, as Lewis Hamilton showed us. So, or just the other way around basically. But yeah, I remember last season. Well, I got a penalty for crossing the white line in the pit lane as well. So, yeah, both those cars are going to exit. That laggy person is not going to jump them, but he's quite close to them as well. He may actually, if he gets the run here, he might be able to make a move on Always AFK. We'll have to see, because Always AFK was near the inside heading to that turn, so her run wouldn't be as great as maybe she would have wanted. But yeah, I think that leggy person now just is going to still be in the position that he was beforehand. And Nams is 2 seconds behind them, of course, but he has to do that extra pit stop. So that's going to drop him probably about 21 seconds back. Yeah, Roscoe as well in last place as well. Probably going to have to pit as well. So it's a bit of a shame for that start incident. They're still probably... Oh, sorry, you go.
No, I was going to say there's a lot of drivers who has to actually make their pit stop, and there we go, right into the pit. And also, Death Bro, did he have an incident there? Did he have a spin?
Yes, I think he spun he spun just before, I don't know what the corner name it is, but it's the start of Sector 3. I think he spun there because he lost the position to Man. He looks like he has wing damage as well. He's running off the road here.
Oh, dear.
He's going to have to pit this lap. A huge shame for him as well. I think the same thing happened to him last round as well when he was in a good position as well. And yeah, Poms jumps him heading into the pit lane as well. So it's a bit of a good recovery drive so far for Poms to the win after that early incident here. And yeah, just looking through the field right now, there's still that train, but it's going to be interesting to see where Is That Matt comes out as well. Ryan also pitting as well. We haven't caught that, but he's just going for an earlier pit stop than RBR. Is That Matt's going to come out, and Chicane and Always AFK and that laggy person are all going to jump them. And so is Nams possibly heading into turn 1 here. This is really close. But yeah, Nams is going to get the position on Is That Matt. And this might actually drag Is That Matt along, because of course Nams is an incredibly fast driver, and he's also got those mediums as well, which will probably die out soon. But yeah, the Comrade Stray is also right behind Death Bro after Death Bro had to change his front wing. So yeah, that's a huge shame for Death Bro Charlie.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of dummies from him. To be honest, I love seeing dummies. I think it's just so...
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something about it which looks so cool. But anyway, lap 12 out of 29. RBR leads the way for now because he hasn't pitted just yet, but I reckon he's going to come into the pits at the moment. But Always AFK is looking for her first podium even, as she's in position 4 now, net P3. As there we go, RBR into the pit lane now. So Ryan is going to take the lead back, but I think this is actually going to be quite interesting to see how far Ryan is going to be ahead of RBR, because he has kind of done, he has pitted earlier than RBR, so we'll see what happens here. He's going to put on the set of hard compound tires as well. Nams is up into position 6, but he has to pit again, and then when he pits, Fens, what tires do you think he's going to go on? Because he's been on these tires for 10 laps. I'm not sure how long he can take those tires for.
He pitted on lap 1, so I'm going to assume maybe the mediums to softs isn't that doable, yeah, because of course that damage on lap 1 due to that unfortunate incident.
Oh! AFK going side by side into turn 1. There's a little bit of contact there. Always AFK was trying to go to the inside, and the chicane blocked that off, but Always AFK up into position 3 now. Did I say something wrong? No. Never mind.
No.
Chicane and Always AFK go side by side once again, going into turn 4, and Always AFK is up in position 3. But chicane, wow. I'm not sure if we call that as well, but Chicane went to the inside, and then Always AFK tried to go to the inside as well. There's a little bit of contact. I don't think there was any front wing damage there, so there shouldn't be anything to worry about that. So Always AFK up into position 3. That laggy person as well on the back of the racing point of Chicane, going into the tricky turns 9 and 10, and you can see how close these guys get, locking up the front tires because ABS is turned off in this tier. So that corner gets really, really tricky, doesn't it, Fens? As that laggy person again loses it. People struggling for grip, it looks like here, as we're just about halfway through this race.
Yeah, I think is that man Thompson. We're going to have to hope that these three continue to battle. Maybe Nams gets involved as well as Ryan sits the fastest lap. Always AFK. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is she going to be the first ever top tier female to get a podium in the AOR Formula One leagues? Yes. Okay,
Oh,
so
it is,
if
yeah.
Always AFK can get a podium, she'll be the first ever female driver to get a podium in the top tier of an AOR league in the region. So. Yeah, this would be quite an amazing job. Yeah, and Oceania's first as well. So yeah, Nams is also racing on the back of this field. Is that Matt seems to be losing a lot of time though. He's now 2 seconds behind Nams. Of course, he was in the DRS earlier.
Oh.
And yes, that's like a person and Nams are fighting for position here. I don't know if Nams is trying to be cautious because he knows that he's not really in this fight, or if he's gonna maybe try and make some positions here. Of course, there's no, oh wait, no, never mind, sorry. Yeah, Chicane's still staying on the back of Always AFK. They've got about the same ERS, but of course, Always AFK will probably be using more because she's up front and doesn't have that DRS like Chicane, that leggy person, and Nams do. So, yeah. And yeah, they're all doing a bunch of weaving on the straight as well. This is really beautiful. But, yeah, so RBI got an 11.5 second gap on Ryan right now. Ryan just trying to stamp out that gap, I think, a bit more. Charlie.
Yeah, 11.5 seconds of the gap between Ryan and RBR at the moment, but back to the battle for position 3. Always AFK has pulled the gap to Chicane a little bit here, 5/10 between those two, so not quite out of the DRS range just yet, as we are halfway through this Grand Prix. More weaving from the guys to try and get rid of that slipstream. Again, I love seeing stuff like this, but because slipstream is very, very powerful. Look at the backer, that's the Sauber and Poms. Is that Matt, sorry, in the Sauber going side by side into turn 1. Poms the win round the outside, casually, job done, up into position 7. What a move from the racing point of Poms, and he's going to catch up to this battle ahead. And look at Chicane and Always AFK in for the battle for position 3 once again, as everyone looks to be squirming quite a lot. I think people are struggling for grip, it looks like, maybe, as we're reaching maybe. Actually, no, these guys are only on 4-lap old hards, so maybe the tyres aren't warming up just yet. Maybe they haven't got used to the grip on these hard compound tyres at the moment. Nams is in quite an interesting position here. He's in position 6 on the mediums, and he's going to be... Is he going to be on the same pace as these guys, Fendz, you reckon? Because 13-lap old mediums, they're going to maybe be the same time. I'm not sure. And Nams has to pit as well, so is overtaking going to be the best move as well? Because later on, he's going to have to give these positions back as well.
Well, I think judging from the amount that he's gone, he's going to probably be trying the mediums to soft strategy. He's doing well right now. Of course, the hard strategy is faster, but he's able to stay in the DRS because the DRS is so overpowered that he can basically just stay in. He can just stay, and it's so beneficial as well. He's got like 50% ERS left, and I've just actually been looking. Yeah, he's going to pit now, but I've just been looking through a couple of the past AOR seasons. Ryan has never lost an AOR race around Bahrain before. There's a fun stat for you, Charlie.
Okay, so maybe that trend will continue. Again, I'm trying not to commentate this. We're not trying to commentate this custom here, as Chicane once again is getting in the slipstream of Always AFK to the inside once again. And it looks like Chicane maybe a cheeky little under and over, try and get the better run on the Toro, but into this corner here is just going to be a little bit too difficult to make the move into there. This is such a tight but quick corner. But we saw Master Berserk have a spin there. He's actually in position 9 here, 1.9 seconds behind Untitled, so he can still catch up to Untitled, get a few more points to his name. But Nams on the soft compound tyres here, so is he thinking to take away the fastest lap from Ryan, or is he thinking he can take this to the end? This is going to be a push, 13 laps on the softs.
Well, he's going to have to hope he gets in the top 10 then, but I do not think these softs will last 13 laps. I'm not going to lie to you, Charlie. But yeah, just looking through the field right now, I'm just having a look through it. Always AFK is the biggest mover on the track right now. She has moved up 9 positions from her starting position, of course, outside the top 10. And just another thing which we haven't really mentioned, but we've got to remember, Chicane has a 3-second time penalty, which he got earlier on in the race. So he's basically not really in this fight right now, unless Always AFK and that leggy person also get a penalty.
Yeah, so that's going to be quite interesting to see what happened at, what happens at the end of the race. 12 laps remaining, and look at all the weaving from the guys in position 3 here, as a little bit of late braking from these guys, but no position gained from there. DS is going to be enabled for both these guys. Again, just, a little bit shaky on the throttle there. Look at that! I'm looking at the broadcast camera, and this just looks so cool. I can't stop talking about it. These guys just getting off the racing line, just making sure no one gets that cheeky 10th or 2 from the slipstream, which proves to be quite powerful on F1 2019. But let's go down to the back of the grid a little bit here. We've got Conrad Strait and VSL Roscoe Arm here getting close to each other. Roscoe Arm's been on 15 lap old medium, so he's been on these mediums basically since the start of the Grand Prix, so he's going to be struggling on those tyres a little bit here. Those guys will have to pit as well. Narms is catching up to those two. Will we see a faster lap from the Red Bull driver? Who knows? Probably, most likely anyway, as Ryan is about to start lap 18 out of 29. And at this point, vFendz, is Ryan a bit bored out there?
Well, it'd be very interesting to see if he can pull out that gap enough to RBR, let's say maybe like 18, 19 seconds. With a few laps to go, he might actually pit for the softs and go for fastest lap. Of course, if that was the case, if the gap was about 18, 19 seconds, RBR would jump him. But with the pace difference on fresh softs versus old hards, Ryan would just get that position back easy. I think he'd maybe chew out like 2-3 seconds a lap on RBR. So yeah, and of course he might want a battle because he seems to have had a bit of a boring race so far. No, but to be fair, it actually isn't that bad just leading the race. It's quite relaxing, quite fun. I mean, everyone wants to be leading the race. Yeah, Chicane is catching up, and Nam sets the fastest lap. And he's also getting the DRS on Conrad Strait as he makes the move for P11, so Ryan does not have the fastest lap anymore. But yeah, just going through the field right now. There's still the battle for P3, and I think they're going to stay in a train for a majority of this race, barring any incidents that might happen. But yeah, the closest battle on track as well, which probably might actually end up in something, is Narms, who is actually maybe going to try something really serious here on Roscoe. I was going to say that'd be a very daring dive bomb if he tried to make a move into that corner. And actually is. He's going to try and go around the outside of here. He might try and get the switch back here on Roscoe Arman with the fresh tyres here. Yeah, that's an amazing move there from Narms. The fresh softs proving really good for him. I think Roscoe's probably going to pit onto the fresh softs in a couple laps time as well. Charlie.
Yeah, Narms proving that he's still got he can still go for the points here. He's not losing any points. Okay, he is losing points, but he's not really getting no points at all, and he's going to get the fastest lap point as well if Ryan doesn't want to try and take that back here, but a little bit of a risk with Ryan doing that. But anyway, back to the battle for position 3. We still got Always AFK leading the little group here. We got that laggy person as well trying to get stuck in there. Chicane just stuck between both of these two, so I don't know, who's in the better position here, vFendz, out of these three? Because right now, Always AFK is basically pulling these two along with her DRS with the slipstream. Chicane, he's got the slipstream from Always AFK as well, but he's kind of pressurized. He has to think about attacking Always AFK, but also defending from the car behind of him. And then he's got that laggy person who's got no one behind him. All he needs to do is just look ahead of him. It's a bit... What do you think? Who would you rather be? What position would you rather be in right now?
Out of all these three, I definitely feel like the most confident if I was in that laggy person's position. I mean, nothing to lose, 3 seconds to the car behind. But Always AFK is probably at an advantage right now because Chicane is in between them. So that laggy person, while Always AFK has the a lesser amount of ERS, that laggy person has to get past Chicane. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. That is... no idea.
No one.
We don't know. I came for a couple seconds, that disappeared. So yeah, that leggy person has to maybe get past Chicane soon, or maybe you could try save a bit more ERS, maybe get to 100 and then do like a few push laps to get past Chicane, and then maybe Always AFK together when Always AFK's ERS is maybe a bit more dry. Because it's currently only like 50%, like it's not too bad, but Chicane looks really racy now. He's very desperate to maybe try and make a move and pull that 3-second gap, which he so desperately needs. I'm just going to check warnings right now between these guys. So Always AFK one warning, which he got last lap. That leggy person has one warning, and Chicane, of course, has a penalty and 2 warnings, I think.
Ooh. Now that
Yeah,
could be
so
quite
he's gonna-
interesting here.
If he gets another penalty, it's game, set, and match, basically.
Yeah, so Pomps the winner's actually catching a little bit here, 3 seconds behind these guys as well. Maybe Laggy Person's been, he could even be being held up a little bit here, so these guys could be a little bit slower than usual. Pomps the winner's got clean air, he's got no one behind him. All he has to do is basically catch up as much as he possibly can. Is that Matt is behind him though, 1.8 seconds, so it's not really pressurizing him that much. Exactly the same length, well, tyre life for both of these guys on the hard compound tyres. Lap 21 out of 29 now. 8 laps remaining of the Bahrain Grand Prix. RBR 14 seconds behind New Zealand Ryan. Where is Narms? Narm is down in 10th. On still the set of softs here, so Roscoe Arms actually pitted as well, going on to a set of softs, so maybe he wants to try and take the fast lap off Narms, but I don't think it'll matter anyway, because Narms might have to pit again. I mean, right now he doesn't, I don't think he has to, I'm not sure. He doesn't look that bad right now, vFendz, you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, he will have the gap to Kiowa's probably in a couple laps if he does want to maybe just play it safe and just get that P10 with the extra one. Yeah, he's going to pit now, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
So he probably will get P10 back, judging by his pace. But yeah, the only real battle right now, which is really spicing up, is the battle from 3rd to 5th. And if Pomsa could maybe catch up, he could maybe beat Chicane in the overall results because of course, Chicane's penalty. So I think it's a tough one for Chicane right now, because if he battles always AFK and maybe it's a bit more unsuccessful, he's going to probably fall into the clutches of Pomps to the win. So he's got to really think now if he just wants to play it safe and just stay behind and get pulled along, or if he wants to maybe try and risk something. But that Leggy person is in such a better position than the other two right now. He's got 75% ERS, while always AFK and Chicane only have like mid-40s in terms of the ERS here. I'm just having a look through the rest of the field to see if anyone's severely low on ERS. That Death Bro is only on that Death Bro is only on 14% ERS, but yeah, I know yeah, I'm Death Bro, but yeah. Ryan does have a 14% gap. He's not really building that gap though. I think it's basically staying a bit stable now.
Bit more weaving from always AFK, Chicane, and Laggy Person once again, but Laggy Person actually a little bit closer to Chicane than Chicane is to always AFK, I reckon. Or am I wrong? I think I might be wrong. It's very close. But yeah, it's basically exactly the same here. But tyres, they're going to maybe start feeling a little bit worn here. Maybe some of these guys struggling to put the power on a little bit earlier. You have to really be careful, as Laggy Person is actually on the the older compound tyres, only by 1 lap though, so it's not the biggest difference, but maybe it could be, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be too much. But 7 laps remaining here, and like we saw, Chicane, was this Chicane with the penalty? I think it was Chicane with the penalty. Yeah, Chicane's got the penalty, so he needs to try and make a move on always AFK as quickly as possible, and then just try and pull 3 seconds. But right now, he's looking like it's going to be quite difficult for him. Nams has got another set of softs, so he's thinking to try and maybe set another fastest lap, maybe weave across the line as well, just to show off as well. But just like Ryan did in qualifying, but still the battle here for position 3. Where's Poms? Poms is 3.5 seconds behind. That Laggy Person is that Matt has actually fallen behind Poms as well, so I think Poms is actually losing time to that Laggy Person, but then he's losing time to is that Matt, so he's going to be stuck in nowhere at the moment. But still position 6 after kind of a good recovery drive as well. Poms can just about see the cars ahead of him, just weaving across the track there from his POV, so that's going to be quite a nice view from back there. By lap 23 out of 29, 6 laps remaining. Again, another DRS zone for maybe a bit of overtake. We haven't seen a lot of overtake in this race, friends. Let's be honest. It's not been as action-packed as we would have hoped, but mainly for position 3, a lot of guys were battling for that at the start of the race, and then a few more incidences there. But it's not been as action-packed as we hoped it would have been, friends.
Actually, I think this battle for third place has actually been, yeah, that laggy person I think touched Chicane a bit there. But yeah, this battle, like, it's been like amazing to watch. Like, this is like great this is great racing that, you know, we want to see in these leagues, and I think these three are really going at it for this final podium position today. RBR, of course, in second place with a 14-second gap right now, so he can maybe just cruise and get that P2. But Toro Rosso double podium right now, that is an absolutely amazing job for them so far. Of course, these are two very quick drivers, so let's see if it can stay that way. But the only way I think that Always AFK might lose this is if maybe her and Chicane maybe have an incident, or if that lucky person goes on the charge. Of course, he has a huge ERS advantage right now compared to the other two. So, and also another battle which we may get to watch later in the race, Master Berserk is catching up to I'm Death Bro. They both had incidences in this race and they've lost 5 positions apiece, but yeah, this battle between 3rd, 4th and 5th, it's basically, it's like a train right now. Like, that none of them can get close enough to make a move, but at the same time, they definitely look like super racy. Charlie.
Yeah, I feel like all of these guys are just under pressure right now, because if you make one single mistake, then the car behind of you can easily just take the position off you, obviously apart from that laggy person. But yeah, so these guys just have to really be cautious, but also try and push as well, because car behind of you, they're literally telling you to get a move on, because the proximity arrow just in your POV just is always behind you. You can always see it, especially when you brake. Sometimes it might even turn red or just get really close to you. That's also quite a scary thing to get used to here. I'm just wondering here if laggy person and Always AFK knows about Chicane's penalty. Probably by now they should ask Mr. Jeffrey. I'm not sure if you guys have. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed or seen it, but we've seen a bit of American Jeff. I think a few drivers have been hearing that. I'm not sure if you've heard that, Fens, but sometimes I think Jeff might have a sore throat or something and then turns American somehow.
A sore throat.
Did you hear about that, Fens?
Oh, I did actually see a clip of it on Twitter from one of the Oceania F2 drivers, I think. But yeah, it's a bit interesting, isn't it? Yeah, there's 4. Happened to so there's 5 laps to go. I think. Wait, I can't count. 12 laps, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Ooh, what did you see, Charlie?
Chicane nearly loses the back end, but somehow he's got the better run on Always AFK. Now he's trying to go around the outside of Always AFK. Just that was very close. Chicane nearly did it around the outside, but not quite. So look, Chicane made a slight mistake going into turn 3 and still got the better run on Always AFK. So looks like he's going. I think he really wants to get past. But let's have a quick look at the ERS between these guys. We've got 45% for Always AFK. We've got 32% for Chicane and 78% for Laggy Person. So Laggy Person is just full to the brim with ERS at the moment, and he. Oh, that was quite close. That maybe kind of jump a little bit there. Laggy Person nearly hit the back end of Chicane going into turn 11. But I think these guys are getting a little bit closer to each other, Fen. So we could be seeing some overtaking in these last few laps here.
Yeah, I think these guys are getting super racy. Of course, they've got a lot of ERS to use. This is actually reminding me a lot of the season finale last season when it was Ryan, myself, and Rain in the train. But yeah, these guys are going to get super racy here. They've got a lot of ERS to use. That laggy person, Always AFK, and Chicane are all in overtake here. And Always AFK is going to defend the inside. Chicane's going to try and go around the outside here. And I think Always AFK is going to stay. Oh, and Chicane spun! Chicane spun! And Tom Silverman's going to get the position as well. That laggy person is now a second, 1.5 seconds behind Always AFK. He may have got damage on that incident. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Chicane is now stuck behind Pommels to win. I don't think he would have got damage from that. His tyres will be on fire now, though. Master Berserk is also getting closer to I'm Deathborough as well. We might have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, oh, that's such a huge shame. That was such a great build-up for the battle, and it just ended straight away.
Yikes, that was a little bit meh, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I got the best POV of that incident, but Chicane round down in position 6 and Poms now gets position 5. So up to you. Who do you guys think it was at fault for that? I mean, I didn't really see the best version of that, but that means Laggy Person up into 4th now, and Always AFK is just trying to get away now. She's really putting her EOS up. She's running a little bit low on that as well, but it's time for Laggy Person to try and use all his EOS, as we've got 2 laps remaining. I love the way that Ryan, I don't think Ryan knows what's happening, what's even happening behind at the moment, but yeah, 16 seconds is ridiculous. And RBR 16 seconds ahead of Always AFK as well. RBR doing really well. So he's going to get, is it going to be his first podium as well? I think it could be. So his first podium in the top tier, best results. So he's going to be one to look out for, it looks like. Or it's going to be, or this is a really good track for him. Who knows? But he's going to get a bunch of points here, and he's going to go well up the order because oh my god, RBR actually losing the back end through there. He actually lost like 2 seconds there. So I'm not going to say that much anymore, but I was going to say RBR is doing really well at the moment. But Chicane 7/10 behind his teammate of Poms to the win. And do you see anything, Vence?
Yes, there is a battle going on right now between Master Berserk and I'm Death Bro. And just another thing to note, RBR debuted, I think, in AOR last season. He only did a couple of races. He was actually in a podium position, I think, last time out. But then he was one of those drivers that I think made a mistake at turn 12. I'm fairly sure there's a lot of drivers that make a mistake at turn 12. I can't remember them all.
No idea.
But I know he made a mistake somewhere, and it basically just ruined his chances. I think him and Always AFK both recovered too. What? Ryan just setting the fastest lap there, beating Nams this time when Nams is on the soft.
What?
Ryan's on a bit of a mission today, I think. Yeah, this is crazy. He's gonna get such a huge boost in the championship. He's gonna get I think as well this will shoot up.
No, that's stupid. How did he do that? No, Nams was on fresh softs, and then he's on 16 lap on mediums.
Yeah, man's on a charge. But
what is that about?
yeah, so I'm trying to do some math here. Would I think RBR would be ahead of Nams in the championship, but would that Laggy Person or Chicane be ahead of RBR? Because RBR I think finished 8th last time out, and I think he also got the fastest lap from memory, 9th. So he would have got 2 points. So Master Berserk and Death Bro are actually having a battle here. Master Berserk going round the outside of Death Bro. What a move from the McLaren driver here. Death Bro, he got to the DRS though. They're going to be super racy here. This is only for 2 extra points, but they're going to try and battle it out here. And I think Death Bro is going to try and maybe get a switch back here. He does have that crucial inside line for the next corner, but I think Berserk gets the traction and he's going to stay ahead for the next few segments of corners, unless Death Bro maybe tries a dive bomb. No, he thinks better of it. Yeah, all drivers are now out of a second of each other, except that Laggy Person now has ERS on Always AFK. He was at 1 minute. It was at 1 second flat, and then I saw the DRS pop up, and he's got a lot more ERS to use than Always AFK. So maybe if he puts a lap of the gods in, he might be able to get the position here. But yeah, Death Bro and Master Berserk seem the most racy out of everyone right now. Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Ryan's doing right now. How has he set a fastest lap on 16 lap old hards? Nams set the fastest lap on fresh soft, so I don't get it, to be honest. But anyway, let's quickly have a look back at the battle for position 8 and 9. We got Master Berserk and I'm Death Bro. Death Bro is going to get the DRS on the McLaren driver here. So Master Berserk made the move last time out, but can Death Bro get that position back here as Master Berserk is weaving all over the shot here, trying to break that slip to Death Bro is gaining. Is it going to be enough? He tries to go around the outside into turn 1, not quite. Does the under and over, going on to the next DRS straight here, a little bit squirmy on the exit. Now Master Berserk is going to try go to the inside once again, try to break that slipstream, but I think Master Berserk will be able to hold on to that for now. But New Zealand Ryan coming through the final few corners, I think, I don't really know how to describe this race. First of all, he weaved across the line in qualifying to take pole position. He's now set the fastest lap on 16 lap old hards. I don't know what to say, but here we go. New Zealand Ryan for the second race in a row across the line to win the Bahrain Grand Prix, round 2 to his name, and he got 50 points to his name as well. So he's had an absolute blast of a start. 51 points to his name now, the full 26 points. So he's gonna have a really good run going into China in round 3. RBR with his first podium in AOR Tier 1, so massive congratulations to him. But his teammate, Always AFK, is going to get her first podium as well for Tier 1. So there she goes across the line, and she takes 3rd position. So it's a Toro Rosso 2-3. And Chicane just got a bunch of penalties there. Laggy Person in 4th, Pomps to win in 5th. It's that man Sid. Where is he falling down to? He falls down to 8th. So I'm Deathbro gets 7th. Chicane gets 8th. And Martin Berserk gets 9th. And Nams is going to get position 10 here after how many stops? I think it was three stops he's had here for Nams, and he's going to finish in 10. So he's had he's had a pretty good recovery drive at the start of his race as he crosses the line, bins it, and joins the AOR Oceania car park. I think it's only just him in the car park today, so that's a real shame for everyone else. But let's go on. He crosses the line. Or is he going to join him? Not quite. He's maybe a bit of Alfa Romeo front wing there. Icaro was across the line, and he's not going to join it either. Conrad straight in the Williams, and no, he's not. But quite an interesting race that was. We saw quite a lot of intense battling, I'm going to say. It was not overtaking, but battling that we saw, especially for position 3. But Ryan just dominant, really, just leading the way there. But Fens, who was your driver of the day?
My driver of the day would have to be between Always AFK and New Zealand Ryan there. Both of them did great drives today, all for different reasons. Ryan, of course, dominating the entire race. Always AFK coming from, I think, 12th in the grid. She was, I think, only one person was behind her, and she still managed to get that 3rd place and her first podium of the season. Amazing job from her as well today. And yeah, I think this is also one of the first times I've ever seen in AOR Oceania that everyone's finished the race. No one crashed.
That's actually a good point. Few people spinning out, but no one actually pressing that retire button or losing their wheel, apart from who was it? Who crossed it? Nams, who lost his wheel there. But anyway, Ryan. So Ryan, yeah, he got 26 points to his name. RBR in 2nd. Always AFK in 3rd. So Toro Rosso 2-3. Always AFK starting 12th and up into 3rd. So fantastic race from her. That Laggy Person in 4th. Pumps the win in 5th. 6th is that Matt. 7th, I'm Deathbro Chicane. 8th, Mars Black 9th, and Nams in position 10. Roscoe Kairos and Conrad Straight, who rounds off the race results. But that was quite interesting. I think, like I said, very intense battling that we saw there. But next week, we're at the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix. And that's going to be quite an interesting track as well, Fez. We've got that long 1 kilometer back straight for overtaking as well.
Yeah, and of course, one thing we've also got to remember about China is it actually is prone to giving us wet weather conditions. I know from memory in Season 4 it went from dry to wet. And I also remember Season 3, there was actually a really good battle, I think, between like 2nd to like 6th, the entire race through, of course, with that early safety car. So hopefully we get another great race in China as we did in Australia and Bahrain today. But yeah, what were your thoughts on today's race, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, intense battling, there was quite a few overtakes at the start. There was a few incidences as well, so the stewards might have to have a little look at that after the race. But thank you all very much for joining us for the stream. I think we peaked at like 90 something viewers at one point, so that was pretty good, just like last week. So thank you all very much for that. Make sure you check out the European and American streams later on today. European, I'm gonna get this wrong, PS4 is at 7, Xbox is at 9, and PC is at 8. I don't know why I did it in that order, but there we go. And Americans, can't really remember Americans, but all the other tiers are at 8 o'clock. But Benz, thank you for joining me in the comment box once again.
You're welcome.
And Jess, thank you for doing the camera work, and we will see you all next week at the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix. Goodbye.